Not a pretty game last night for the Houston Rockets.
Why did I go?
I was. When I asked you yesterday if you were going, I was stunned.
Well, I made plans, and when I make plans, I would say 99% of the time, because I was called out not keeping plans with somebody a couple of weeks ago. 99% of the time, I stick to those plans. And I knew that this would give me an excuse to go to the Highway Cantina for a $9.75 tall Texan margarita. But while I was at the game, I found myself continuously looking up at the scoreboard, seeing that the Warriors were shooting like 62%, seeing the score for most of the game was about a 15-point game. I mean, I think it started off, the Rockets were down 16-4 early on in the first quarter. And I think I was just blankly staring at the court, not even really seeing half of what was happening outside of the occasional cool moment by Steph Curry, who I enjoy watching. Sorry, I know that's controversial here in Houston.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
I mean, it's such a pathetic way to meekly end your season. And I get it. Like, the Warriors are the Warriors, and they're getting hot at the right time. They've been through all of this before. But, I mean, good God. The Rockets, I think, really embarrassed themselves with this one. A culmination of 3 games in a row where you're like, well, what was the point of that 11-game winning streak? Should I have been happy at all? Especially looking at that schedule and looking at how many bad teams they played.
Yeah, it does make you...
It's a downer because
it's hard not to get excited about an 11-game win streak. Like, you're always going to, but it was so much better. So it was much better basketball. Jalen was playing great. It wasn't just the bad team that you were facing. Like, collectively, it looked like the Houston Rockets had figured something out. Like they were on their way to maybe not making the play-in tournament, but like that they had found answers to the math problem, and they don't have them. The last 3 games, to play the way you did and just get rocked in 2 of them, and you lose 125-107 to the Mavericks. You lose by 7 to the Timberwolves. You lose by 23 points last night to the Warriors. It's just not good enough. If you want this team to go into a different direction, all the excitement I had about this team just a couple days ago, by the way they played, just sucked it out of me. Like, they're all the good vibes are gone. Like,
yep, totally.
And it's probably going to get worse. Because I told you yesterday, my biggest questions with this team was, would they quit? Like, would they show up? Who are you? And they showed us who they were last night. They showed us that they think that, Tari Eason, you are a clown. Like, you're a clown move, bro. Why are you wearing that T-shirt?
Before we hear the Warriors' reaction to it, I think to what you said, Joe, I think that they know. I think they know there's egg on their face, especially with Ime Udoka at the post-game press conference saying this.
It looked like the moment was too big for a lot of players out there. Saw it look like deer in headlights a little bit. Either look soft or scared. One or the other, and that's two bad things for a lot of our guys to have, and didn't rise up to the moment like I thought we would.
There was some pushback to that quote. Not a lot. I think most people agreed. Honest, blunt, but true. They weren't ready for that moment. They thought they were ready for the moment a couple of games before the game even took place, as evidenced by Tari Eason, who wasn't even playing in the game. Saw a funny text, Tari McCullers, talking that ish. At least Lance McCullers has won something. Tari Eason's never won a damn thing in his life. No offense. I don't know what he wanted. Did LSU ever win an SEC title or something like that? Probably not. So to go back to that moment, at the very least, you have a coach, unlike Stephen Silas, who is going to light them up afterwards. That doesn't require yelling, but it does require harsh truth-telling. So I was happy that we got something like that from Udoka.
And that's not the first time we've heard it.
It's not. He's consistent with it. But the last time we heard it, they went on for an 11-game winning streak not that long afterwards. So I think he has a pretty good barometer on how to manage these guys from a psychological perspective.
Yeah, and that is somewhat of a positive because, like, one of the views about NBA players just today in general is that they're all super soft, and if you call them soft, they're going to unravel. And this Rockets team appears to not do that as much as they possibly could. But still, just disappointing last night.
Yeah, it was one of those, kind of varsity versus junior varsity matchups where you realize very quickly, you're like, oh yeah. I mean, this is what we talked about with wanting, like, the fact we even cared about them making the 10th seed was just to get, like, that big game kind of experience against a veteran team that they would have gotten in the playoff or in the play-in game. And it probably would have gone something like this. It probably would have gone, hey, when a team full of veterans, when a team full of champions really won a game, they can come out, and Klay Thompson, who has been benched for part of this year, has had several different press conferences where he openly is like, man, it sucks. I'm not the same guy anymore. I'm in a different phase of my career. When they really want to reach back and get a game, Klay Thompson can drop 30-something points on your head in 20 minutes. Like he can just do that. He can do that when he wants to. There's a different level to NBA basketball that these guys, hey, 38 wins so far, great season, but it is again a silver lining that not only they're having to confront that, hey, there's still more levels of this to go, but they have a coach who's willing to put it out there and put it out there publicly that, yeah, you guys think, it's cute beating OKC without Shea. It's cute beating the Cavs, beating these trash ass teams, but there is still a ways to go. And yeah, with any other coach other than Ime Udoka, I think I would be like, this is only negative. With Ime Udoka, it's like there's a slight positive here.
Right. I think they got a little too full of themselves. And this is why you have someone like that. There's one moment, it was a corner three, or close to a corner three by Jalen Green, and he did this little twirl and spin move after he hit it. And the Rockets were down like 10 plus at that moment.
Oh, no, that one was in the second half or in the second quarter run when they got to like 6.
6, okay.
Yeah, there was a run where it was like, okay, they're fighting back into this game. And then the Warriors went on like a 12-0 run in the last 2 minutes of the second half. Yeah. In the second quarter.
I don't love that. If you Cam Newton, Superman chest pull celebration on a first down when you're down by 20.
But I kind of get it because they're making a run.
Yeah, they are.
So you're trying to get things going. Like you're trying to get some energy back in the building. You can't just be like walking around with your tail between your legs when you're making a run.
But you need that early on.
It wasn't even that big of a celebration, too.
No, that's true.
I understand
it wasn't
that,
a touchdown.
But I do think it was reflective of sort of where the Rockets are, especially considering where was that at the beginning of the game? If they had come out of that game, come out of the first quarter or the first timeout, into the first timeout, and they actually felt like they had landed a couple of punches. This game, I think, could have potentially gone different, even though the stakes for the Rockets in this one, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
the Warriors have basically already, before this game was played, iced the spot. But as the game progressed, there were a lot of moments where just everything felt dead. Not just the crowd. The crowd was barely there, and I don't blame them when it starts off, 16-4 Warriors or whatever it was, but they never really were able to get themselves back in. And to Ime's point, I think it has to do with how they were before and also just in the moment getting wailed on.
Couple texts here. 6517, Tari McCullers should not be wearing trash until the team can back it up.
Yeah.
8863, this is on Tari Eason. He poked the bear. Oh, man, Tari Eason catching some heat.
Well, do you want to hear Klay Thompson and his response to Tari Eason? Here is Klay Thompson after turning back the clock a bit in last night's emphatic drubbing of the Rockets.
Seemed like you guys heard that Warriors come out to play video.
Yeah, that's pretty lame, especially if you're not even playing. Like, it's one thing if you're playing, you're out there competing, and you can back it up, but if you're just going to be trolling from the sideline, like, bro, what we doing? Like, times we talk mess, at least we're out there competing. I'm not going to, that's all I have to say about that.
He's not wrong.
He's definitely not wrong. He had 29 points. He was 7 of 11 from outside. I mean, Thompson kicked their ass. He was only on the court for 29 minutes in that game. And Klay Thompson is not the Klay Thompson of old. So you got to wonder if all of the Warriors saw that and they were like, F these children. Well, let's just give them a spanking. And they did.
That's what last night feels like.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, that Klay Thompson comment right there, it's pointed. But imagine hearing this from Draymond Green, who is openly being patronizing here while talking about the Rockets and talking about Tari Eason. There's a lot of good here if you're Tari Eason, but at the same time, if the guy's complimenting you after you talk trash, oh boy, I would hate hearing this.
I love it. Like I said on my podcast, Tari, if you're gonna say that, you gotta play though. Like, you can't come out and say that and not play. But I know what type of player he is. Like he welcomes all that. He welcomes the challenge. He welcomes the fight. And I, it's the reason I saw him playing last year and fell in love with his game. Because he does the dirty work. He's getting in the fray, and that team is better when he's out there. So love the competitive fire. I love the talking. That's always fun. But yeah, hopefully next year he'll say the same thing, and we both won't be fighting for the play, and we'll be fighting for the seat up top. So
I never want to hear Draymond Green being nice if I've just trash talked with him, because it is a bit of a pat on the head. Like, yeah, he's a good player. He should play in the game that he talks trash about.
Yeah, no, it's funny. The only thing that these guys they clearly, I would say, they're not unaware of Tari's actual injury. Like they're talking about Tari Eason like he has a grade 1 sprained ankle and he's just missing the game and not playing, when he had a benign growth removed from his bone. And
they do talk about it and you're not coming out here to play.
Yeah, like they're talking about he's got a jammed finger and not
he
playing.
He hasn't played in 2 months.
Like he has a real injury.
It's not like it was like, well, they held him out for this game, but he played the last 7. Yeah. But I mean, all this stuff, I don't know. All the stuff, you could have said the same thing, 10 days ago when he actually said the thing. Like, nothing actually changed.
Yeah.
On Tari Eason's part, where it's like, yeah, in the moment where I think we
liked it.
This is where I forget what I mentioned with you guys and where I mentioned with Dell. But we even said I mean, he is doing it from a hotel room. He is doing it from a hotel room. He didn't play. He hasn't played in a while. But yeah, I think we overall at the time we liked the energy. It's just the follow through from the Rockets that are on the court that I feel weirdly enough, Tari Eason's catching so much heat. It's well, I guess he didn't play, but he's not the one that no-showed. Everyone on the text line, they didn't really have a problem with it last week.
No, but it goes to the bigger picture of you can't really say that stuff and then just get dog walked. And the fact that he's
that's not on Tari.
No, it's not.
That's
he
not
said
as
it.
much on Tari's. He obviously welcomed it himself, but I don't know. Jabari Smith, don't get dominated down low.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks, stop being a clown.
Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, aren't you veterans? What are
I by the way, before the game, I wanted to see what the hell has Dylan Brooks been staring at all this time.
It's just into the distance. Yeah.
But what's crazy is it's not at the opposing team. I always figured it was towards the opposing team. No, he literally has his back to the opposing team, and he's just looking blankly at literally nothing.
But he's on their side of the court, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So he's in the way.
Sort of, but he's not in the way. He's far away enough where he's not a problem. He's not by the bench either. He's usually by
on the courtside seat.
Right, exactly. And he just looks ahead. I walk by because I've always wondered, what is he looking at? And it seemed like he was looking at our nation's colors before the presentation of the colors in the national anthem. And I'm like, well, he is Canadian, so maybe he has a deep-seated hatred of the United States. That's the only thing I could really think of as an explanation.
Maybe he's staring at it thinking of how he can become an American.
Could be that.
If he's not.
He's so moved by the colors.
Or it's a chip on the shoulder thing where they're they think I'm soft because I'm Canadian. Dylan, no one thinks that. No one thinks you're soft.
Yeah, he's staring at the flag because he's just, all he can think about is this summer.
Oh yeah,
Team Canada,
the Olympics.
Oh,
the Olympics are this summer.
I would actually kind of respect it if he's I've been looking for the Olympics for this entire year.
I'm ready to show those American boys what's going on here.
He did play well for Team Canada this past offseason.
It's part of what sold me on the signing at first, which is so stupid.
Come.
I don't like your Dylan Brooks slander. I want a crazy guy on my team.
He's not good enough to be that.
Who is good enough to be a crazy person on a night-to-night basis?
Draymond was.
He was.
I said was.
Yeah, but he's still crazy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. What? He's a bigger Patrick Beverly.
But like, okay, is Dylan Brooks even Pat Bev?
Yes, he is so much better than Patrick.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it.
He's better on defense and offense.
It doesn't feel like it.
He is.
I know he is, but it doesn't feel like it.
He shoots like 35% from three.
When they trade Jalen Green this summer, I'm hoping Dylan Brooks is part of the package.
It would help with matching salary, but you do need a crazy person to, I think, implement the Ime Udoka mindset.
Can Tari be the crazy person?
Well, not now. He's in timeout.
Do you think today's the day to be like, you know what? You know who we should promote?
Yeah.
Tari. Eason.
He's not just in injury timeout now. Now he's in you don't get to talk, buddy, timeout.
Yeah.
Stay away from Instagram, buddy.
Yeah, not great. Not a great night for the Houston Rockets.